Hey everybody, welcome to Rival Zone Gaming and Ricardo Gaming, because I have my friend with me. Oh, that side actually. Ricardo Gaming.
Hello.
Yeah, this side. With this side, because we're not entirely sure. Ricardo and myself have been Battlestar Galactica Deadlock fans for quite some time, I think. 3 years ago.
Game. Yeah,
Not just the game. No, we're talking the whole thing.
Transcends the game, doesn't it? Let's
Oh,
face
it really does. I mean, I first kind of remember it back when it was the original Battlestar Galactica, with Dirk Benedict and Richard Hatch. You know,
Lorne Green.
oh, Lorne Green. Oh,
That was the one. He was the Adama, the original Adama.
original Dharma. And then they did the 1980s thing. They tried to bring it back.
But that was terrible.
It just didn't work because the whole thing about Battlestar Galactica for me was they were trying to find Earth. That was
It
the
kind
whole.
of spoilt it when they did. And then they
Yeah,
were all superhuman.
but yeah. Everyone's human, and it's in the 1980s. The flying
then-
motorbikes were awesome.
That was the only good thing. But it's amazing how those Vipers evolve over time to have a boot where you can stick a motorbike in.
I mean, who doesn't want a Viper that can do that?
Who doesn't want a Viper?
There is that. And then it kind of fell out of favour with, well, sci-fi and everybody, really. I mean, you still had the core fans who just loved the premise, the
Yeah.
nostalgia and everything, as is when you ever get like a cult following of something that should have been so much more than it was.
Well, think about Star Trek. That
Yeah.
didn't run for many seasons. Battlestar didn't run for many seasons either,
No.
right? The original Battlestar. The Ron Moore one ran for
Yeah.
four seasons. It
Oh,
was,
I'm
wasn't it?
sure
They
it's
split
5.
the fourth, was it? They split the fourth season for some reason,
Yeah.
I think.
Well, that was the new thing, wasn't it?
yeah.
You put out the first half before Christmas and New Year, and then you brought it back after Christmas and New Year, because torturing your fans is what's best for business.
And everyone shuts down for Thanksgiving in America.
Well, thanks a lot, America. I want to
Yes.
see the next episode of Battlestar Galactica.
That's why it's the thing on Netflix.
Yeah.
But for me, when I saw this game, right,
Yeah.
and I remember watching the development, and I thought, oh, I'm going to have myself some of that. And, you know, a strategy war game, and I don't do an awful lot of that, because I do Elite, mostly on the channel, and Subnautica, that sort of stuff. I thought, oh, is it going to be for me? I know I'm a fan, big fanboy of this.
Yeah.
Is it going to be right for me? Because it really is, it's down to the minutiae of the movements. of
I was
each
worried
individual.
about that. The whole, you move your ships a certain amount each turn,
Yeah.
and then you move them a bit more, and you can only put them up and down a little bit, and all that. And I was literally going, is that going to destroy it?
Yeah.
And it didn't. That is
No,
the
I was
game.
hooked. Utterly hooked. And then, you know, DLCs just kept on coming, right? I mean, so there was Broken Alliance and the resort and the ship pack,
Yeah.
wasn't it? The resource pack, I
Yeah.
think it was. And I thought, God, this is good, isn't it? They got a bit of development money for the first year. This is fab. You know, they must have done really well.
And they wove it into the first
Yeah.
storyline, so you literally could go back and play the original and tie everything together. You saw how it all worked.
All the politics going on behind the forming of the fleet, you know, for me, right? And they tried doing politics with Star Wars and it didn't quite work. But that's
No.
sort of all of a sudden come back into being, you know, brilliant. So when you think about it originally being a political drama
Yep.
with the Ron Moore, well, it's a bit like Black Hawk Down meets The West Wing, really, isn't it?
Yes.
Think about it. It's
Yep.
that sort of intense sort of thing. Having all that sort of politics and infighting within the colonies, it's not idyllic. It's the human condition.
Yeah.
We as humans aren't idyllic and perfect. Well, some of us aren't.
I'm perfect.
Oh, well, no. Perhaps we're getting there.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, I thought it was good how they did it.
No, the whole kind of the subtle layers and how you weren't sure who was a Cylon. I mean, I think we were all supposed to know that Boomer was a Cylon. I think that was pretty much a given, and the fact that she, at the end of the first mini-series, she's revealed, and then it's her kind of struggling. Is she a Cylon? Isn't she a Cylon? The Chief's kind of reluctance to believe kind of added emotional layers to it.
So he's got duty, and he's got the love for this, we'll say, woman.
Yeah.
Because it's a female robot, woman, whatever.
But then you've got Hilo and Sharon.
Yeah.
Which shows what could have been.
Yeah.
If you are given the choice of what you are.
So let's think about what happened after we had Broken Alliance then.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was good. And there was a longer period between DLC, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
And what do we have then? We had...
Oh, jeez. Sin and Sacrifice next?
Sin and Sacrifice. No, we had Anabasis.
Anabasis, yes, sorry. Yes, the bane of my existence.
You know what? I went in there today, and I did a stream. And because I've been having technical problems, like I was saying early on at the beginning of the stream. I went in there, I thought, right, I'm going in there, Mercury's, I'm going in there with Valkyries, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put it on easy. I put it on easy. Right?
You fool.
But at the end of the stream, I had 2 transports left, and that was it. I thought, this isn't going to go well. And they jumped in, I think there was 40 Cylon ships. Most of them base stars. And I'm trying to run the other way.
And you run
I
out
tell
of
you
that.
what, it's good comedy. It's comedy if anything else.
I did the same thing. I decided I was going to do a stream on Saturday, and I did the Anabasis run, and we took Mercuries, we took Valkyries, I took a Jupiter in there, and somehow I managed to keep my flagship alive and the Celestra. It was by the end of the last mission. I'm literally in the last mission. It's like, right, Vipers, do your job. You're not getting picked up. Any other ship, your sole intention is to block fire for these 2.
It's when the things jump behind you. Go, oh.
It's like, why are you there?
From that way. I'm going from that way.
So yeah, then they brought Anabasis out, which, I mean, I know people have done the Galactica challenge, just going like with one Jupiter and whatever comes with it, and I will forever be in awe of people who can actually make that work.
I don't know how they do that.
Oh my god, was it just... It's just exactly what you think it should be when you are leading a ragtag fleet on a quest to get them home or to their destination.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It was just perfectly built.
And I'm surprised, right? Blacklab haven't done that. They haven't gone, behold, there's a Galactica, and there's a few of the little ships, because some of the other little ships would have got out. You hear in the series, well, some of us have got weapons.
Yeah.
They're civilian ships. So, some lowly armed ships, a couple of corvettes, for example, and then a load of, perhaps it's coming. Perhaps we don't know about it. Perhaps we've rumbled everybody on this. But that would be a really good idea.
It really would.
Yeah.
And then from that, it was Sin and Sacrifice.
Yeah. No, I like that. I thought that was really good. And that brought season 1 to an end.
It blew me away. That big fight at the end, and when you get Winutu doing the kind of double dealing behind the scenes and Colonial Fleet, and you've spent a base game and now 2 whole DLCs building up this just immense fleet that covers every colony, and it doesn't matter what the Cylons throw at you. And oh, by the way, everyone in the Caprica area, they're cut off now. Yeah.
And you've lost Galactica as well.
Yeah.
Because that's fallen into the Sea of Caprica. You're like, well, kind of needed that.
Yeah. So let's get everything back to Ragnar. Just get everything back to Ragnar as quick as you can. You get everything back there, and it's like, right, now hold the line. Just hold the line.
That sort of confirmed the fact that what we were all thinking, well, this is Ragnar Anchorage.
Yeah.
The station we see in the miniseries, where they restock.
Yep.
So, and we thought, yeah, brilliant. And then, for those people who haven't played the game, is going to be a spoiler.
Yeah.
Then they left it.
They abandoned it.
They abandoned it, exactly, And I think, well, all right, fair enough then. And I was wondering all the way through some of the other DLCs we also had.
Yeah.
Well, what's that doing there then?
Yeah. It's just sat
Where
there.
haven't they brought that in? And when they first said with that Armistice, we're going to be increasing fleet cap limits. And we only had spotty information on this.
Yeah.
Increasing fleet cap limits to like 16,000. I went, perhaps you'll be able to bring in the Daedalus station with your normal fleet cap.
Yeah.
Merge them both together, and there it is. But as we now know, that the fleet cap is only on multiplayer, anabasis, and skirmish mode. You see.
Yep. Which I think is probably a good thing because they'd have to rebalance the entire game.
Yeah. And I think some of the, because it's out on consoles as well, and it's on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I think is the limiting factor. I don't want to annoy all the PlayStation 4 and Xbox people, and certainly not the Nintendo Switch ones.
No.
But it's not going to be up to it because some PCs struggle with it.
Oh, yeah.
With that amount of things on the screen.
I mean, they even have a warning when you go to 16K fleets in multiplayer, in Anabasis or anything. It's actually at the bottom of the screen saying you might want to turn down your settings because this is a lot.
Yeah. As I can contest to, on the final mission of my Anabasis run today, with I think it was like 38 to 40 Cylon ships and 2 transports. So, yeah.
And then you add in all the radar units.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because they launch them all still. They don't go, hang on, wait a minute, there's only 2 transports left. Maybe we'll leave the raiders in.
Everything.
Go!
Everything. Everything came out of there after me. I thought, well, perhaps I can get away.
I can make it! No, you can't. Yes, I can! No, you can't.
So Sin and Sacrifice was really good. I mean, I enjoyed that. Brought season 1 to an end.
Yeah, a really explosive end as well, because it left it totally ambiguous as to what... We know that Colonial Fleet comes back, because we've all seen the TV show.
We know the story. Yeah.
But how were they going to come back?
Yeah.
And then they started doing the little Twitter drops for Resurrection, with the little kind of distorted picture of the Galactica being rebuilt in the asteroid.
And that was a really nice touch because you saw, not a planetary orbital shipyard. This was like in a cave.
This was like a Rebel Alliance type thing. We're kind of building this ship out of the view of the Cylons, just in case there's any Cylon spies out there. And they rebuilt it. I kind of wish they'd kept the red lines down the side because I kind of liked them. It was a nice touch, but the fact that they made it just different enough so you could just look at it and go, Jupiter 2.
What did you think about when they brought the Jupiter 2 out, right? Because what I was thinking about, I thought, all right, so they've added another squadron slot.
Yep.
And they kind of upgraded the armor. And I got the armor specs here, I think. So, on the front, it's got 140 points of armor.
I think it had 120 to begin with, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it had. And all around, it had a bit of an increase in armor, which was great. I thought, they're going to make it any quicker?
No.
Are they going to add another missile slot? Now, I've been a great advocate for more missile slots, right? Because I like missiles. I like nuclear missiles. And the reason why I say this is that we've got this entire sort of this huge behemoth warhorse, right, of the Galactica, and it's got its squadrons in there, so 2 Vipers, 2 supports, whatever you want to put in.
Yeah.
1 missile tube. This is meant to be, the cutting edge fleet of Jupiter class, whereas the old Manevra, which I think is, and if you've seen my stream, I think is made of tissue paper. And it is. Has got 2.
I'll come back to that in a minute because I've got.
And it's got 2. I think it should have had another port. And again, same with the Mercuries that we're seeing in Armistice. If it had another missile port, but not for missiles, but for a non-lethal missile like ECM or that other one they've got, The Cylons, I think. Yeah, armor piercing. Something like that you could use in conjunction with that would get you to use the other munitions. Because typically you don't use the other munitions. You go in, play the game, guided missiles, because it's nice and easy, you don't tend to miss, and nukes, if you got them.
I tend to go torpedoes.
Do you really?
I ignore
the elevation right.
I will literally sit there and, for the first turn, will look for slow-moving targets. Because the slow-moving targets are going to take more to kill. Yeah. So, first turn, I'll look for all the fast movers and go, you're all ignored, because I know my torpedoes are not going to hit you. And then I'll find the slow-moving targets, and I will use every single launch tube I have with torpedoes firing at that target. Because normally it's a base star, it's a Cerberus, it's something that's got a lot of armor that you can do an awful lot of damage to very quickly. You might even be able to take it out if you've got enough launch platforms.
Bigger yield on the torpedoes than the missiles, see, isn't it?
It's also, they've increased the number of torpedoes that fire on a lot of the ships for the last DLC.
40 in each magazine, I think there is.
Yes, there is. And some of the ships have actually increased the number that they will fire. So you got 100 torpedoes to just kind of go, hey, hi guys. Yeah. Let me introduce you to some lovely explosive ordnance.
Yeah, I do like it.
Yes,
I do like it. So yeah, Jupiter 2. I was happy with it. I thought they could have done more. I don't know.
Maybe, but
where'd you stop?
Exactly. I mean, it's meant to be the pinnacle, but we've also learned from the storyline that Sinan was a Cylon sympathizer. So, although he's making the Jupiter be the kind of cream of the crop in the war against the Cylon ship, he's also, well, he's not going to make it the best.
Give him a chance, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to give him a chance. One thing I did like what they did with the model of the Jupiter was those side pods extending. Because they didn't have to animate that, and they did.
No. And it makes a hell of a difference. Because you know straight away when a Jupiter jumps in, Jupiter 1, Jupiter 2, you can see. And it's a lovely effect they've got there. A lovely effect. And if you look at the other Cylon ships that are in through the first season of Deadlock, when you consider, the lore where they attacked the Scorpius shipyards, ripped off the colonials from their ships, and then adapted them.
Yeah.
Right? So the older ships are a bit tougher. I hate those Revenants. Hate them. They're just a pain.
When you first start the campaign and you haven't even got your own Jupiter yet, I mean, I'm crying out loud. At that point, you haven't even got your own Artemis.
Yeah,
and you see your first... Yeah, it's Corvettes and the Adamant frigates. Maybe the Berserks. And you see your first Revenant just charge through and just take a face full of damage and keep coming.
Yep.
It's just like, I'm in trouble.
It's frustrating. It's what it is.
Yeah. So you've got to pair your Adamants with your Berserks, because your Berserks have got medium guns. And it can just... Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can put an Adamant above, and it'll shoot the Adamant first normally, because it's the tougher target. And your Berserk at that point can just go, hi, I'm just going to tear away all your armor and kill you very, very slowly.
So after Sin and Sacrifice, we had the Resurrection, which we were talking about. And Resurrection sort of like brought us into, the retrofit of the Jupiter. And we spoke a little bit about that. But I thought that was a really good storyline. I really enjoyed it. I like the old, we're back and we're going to take the fight to you because, you brought the fight to us and now you're going to have it. So, I mean, that was quite good as well. I like that, and all the political wranglings around it where they said, yes, well, colonial fleet now has its position at the table and it's not down to the colonies. It's independent. It's all changed at the top, that sort of thing. That was good. I like that.
I am still waiting patiently for Wanutu to get her comeuppance.
It's never going to happen, I don't think.
It's never going to happen, I know, but I just so want it to happen.
And let's talk. Well, we'll get to that in a minute, I think, really, because we're skipping ahead of all the good stuff.
We are skipping ahead. I'm sorry.
No, we are all the good stuff. So, we've all seen Blood and Chrome. Well, a lot of us would have seen Blood and Chrome.
Yes.
Right? Which I thought was good. And I was absolutely gutted when Sci-Fi didn't pick that up, or someone didn't pick it up. Because they went around and took all these lovely digital pictures, right, of all the sets. And I thought, it's going to be good, this. It's going to be loads of basically what we've seen with Battlestar Galactica Deadlock. They filled the void that was left by Blood and Chrome not being put on the television, I think.
Yeah, and what they did was they tied it so neatly into the whole storyline. You've got an actual mission where you are clearing up after the end of Blood and Chrome.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just dedication to the cause, for crying out loud.
It is.
Because you didn't have to do that. You could pay some lip service or throw away lines, and that's it. Yeah, we know about it. We don't want to go into the minutiae of it, so we're just going to give you some little tidbits of quotes and things like that, and that'll be it. Okay, no problems. No. We're going to make you actually clean up the aftermath. Have fun.
When you think about Blood and Chrome, it gave Blacklab all the models, the old Raptors, all that sort of stuff, right? More guns on the Battlestar.
So many more guns.
It was bristling with it. I mean, there was 4 on the front, for God's sake, on the top. I thought, hang on, where have they got?
So many more guns.
Loads of guns. We like guns. So Ghost Fleet Offensive sort of picked up there, and we saw, in all the artwork, and people would have gone back over Blood and Chrome, and they would have seen the Valkyrie there as part of Ghost Fleet. Which brings in a little question here about the lore. Now, the Valkyrie is in the modern ship pack, innit?
Yes.
Right? It's a modern ship. It was around during towards the end of the first Cylon War.
Yeah.
Right? And it gave the impression that it had been around for quite a bit.
Yes.
Yet one of the ships that weren't included so far in the campaigns.
Yeah.
For Deadlock. It's a nice model in the modern ship pack. I have to say, the Valkyrie. It's a very nice model. Lots of lovely little touches.
Oh,
right?
Yes.
Where the Vipers launch from the front tube. There's 3 tubes under each flight pod, right?
Yeah. And you can actually position your camera and look at it. And
that's wrong. They've done it wrong. I thought, well, it is still a test. I thought, what are we doing? Went and checked. Oh, no, they were right.
Oh, yeah. And they modelled it so they come out of those freaking tubes.
Really good.
I loved it.
So with Ghost Fleet, you think about it, all that behind enemy lines stuff.
Yeah.
How did you find that campaign?
Right. The first half of the campaign, loved it.
Yeah.
The second half, and I'm probably going to be the unpopular person in this video for just saying this. They rushed it.
Yeah.
They rushed it. And the reason I'm saying that is because they give you 2 brand new ships as part of that campaign pack.
Yeah.
The Defender and the Orion. Now, when the whole point of getting new ships, and I know everybody, if you're honest with yourself, guys, and I know this isn't gonna sit well with you, but if you're honest with yourself, what do you do when you get a new ship? You put it into a fleet that's going to go into a kind of a non-meaning battle and see what it can do. You put it in situations that you wouldn't put any other ship in because you've got your core pieces of that fleet and you're not going to risk them, but you'll risk the one that you're not sure about because you want to test what it can do. You want to see what it can do. And we didn't get that chance. Pardon?
How does it handle in action?
Exactly.
Exactly.
What can it bring to me? What does it give me that I can add to my fleets that means I'm going to have to pull another ship off the line? And we never got that opportunity with the Ghost Fleet Offensive because we got the Defender.
It came in too late.
Yeah, the Orion, when you became part of Ghost Fleet, which meant the only thing you've got to work with now is story missions. So if you put them in, you're having to take something out that you know works for an experimental piece that you might go, ugh, halfway through the battle because it's
And let's
already
face
costed you
it,
the fleet.
it looks like a submarine.
I love
It looks
the
like a
Orion.
submarine.
I love it. I think it's
And
amazing.
it's even got stealth mode.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I
You
love
know,
it.
that clandestine approach. I mean, the Defender, I think, is great as a support ship. Blows the Celestia out the water. Okay, you can't. I mean, you can't restock your missiles and you can't restock your armor plated. But the other stuff for boosting up the other systems and Marines, brilliant. And it's got flak.
I would agree with you if it wasn't for the latest DLC. Because with the latest DLC, the Celestia doesn't just give you 30 armor anymore. It gives you 50, which takes a ship like the Minerva, which only has 60 on the side platings, up to 110. It suddenly makes the Minerva a long-term engagement Battlestar, as opposed to the glass cannon it was.
And if you're in multiplayer, a cheaper alternative, because the Mercury is what, 2,800
before you add anything.
Yeah, before you even put your nice Vipers in.
Yeah, and those Viper Mark 7s were pretty much the only Vipers that lasted to the end of my Anabasis run.
Well, you did better than I did.
And it was like, well done, Vipers. You keep at it. I'm jumping the fleet out.
Yeah, good stuff. It's all good stuff. So, yeah, I'm with you with that. I mean, I think I only used the Orion on that one particular mission in Ghost Fleet where you had to destroy that station. I think it was a station you had to destroy. Yeah. I remember. You had to sneak up, stealth mode, and then let loose with the torpedoes, just like a submarine. And then that was it. It got hammered, dead. Then its job. What were we expecting?
Yeah.
You know?
Was it Ghost Fleet? No, it wasn't Ghost Fleet. It was Resurrection when they introduced the Taipan.
Or, as I like to put, the Battlestar, the Buck Rogers Thunderfighter.
Exactly. And then that is what it is. You know, it came out in the same era as the 1970s Battlestar Galactica. But the simple fact is, that thing is a beast when you pair it with an Assault Raptor.
Yeah. Anti-capital ship, see?
Anti-capital, anti-everything. It's concentrated death.
But let's talk about that Taipan, right? Because back in the 70s, which you got to say this again for Blacklabs, they know their sci-fi. Right?
Oh, they do.
You look at Star Wars, Battlestar, all came out at the same sort of time. Buck Rogers was coming out, you know, with Erin Grey.
I'm not drooling.
I know. It's hard not to, though.
Yeah.
But, you know, and Gilgarad and all that. There was only a few model and sci-fi designers. Ralph McQuarrie, right, who did all the concept art for Star Wars. And then, you know, all what didn't work, say, for Lucas, was then put onto Battlestar. And then we got another rabbit hole then with the film Battle Beyond the Stars, where it just used stock footage from Battlestar Galactica wherever it possibly could do.
Of course.
If you remember that film.
If you've got something that works, use it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, you know, they've proven that you could say, you can watch the original Battlestar, and those Vipers would launch. You say, it's the same clip they used in the last episode. But why redo it for the sake of it? So when it came to the Thunderfighter, I was quite impressed that they took that and went, right, we're going to make that a Taipan. Now, I don't know if that was originally going to be the case back in the 70s or what, because you think the Millennium Falcon really should have been the Carillion Corvette. And they changed it. You know, and that sort of drew a bit of thing from, you know, Space 1999 as well, really. If you remember that.
Yes, vaguely.
Showing my age now. I got an eagle somewhere. Yeah. So all these different shows either had cast-offs, because the Viper was meant to be the X-Wing originally.
I didn't know that.
I read somewhere. Yeah.
Oh.
So there was an awful lot of crossover. But that Taipan, you're right. It's a capital ship killer. Pair it with the right squadron, you know, and it's a long overlooked ship.
Yeah. I'm doing my
Battlestar,
playthrough.
Vipers, Raptors.
Yeah, that's the way that we are told is like in the Ronald D Moore era. But right now, playing the Armistice thing, I think I've used 4 squadrons of Vipers on one fleet, and then everything else has been Taipans and Assault Raptors. To the point where I'm going, what do you mean I have to take a normal Raptor squadron on this mission? I don't want to take a normal Raptor. Give me my Assault Raptor. Can we not change that on the description for the mission to Assault Raptor, please? Because I want another Assault Raptor.
Support vehicle that can carry people.
And Assault Raptors can do that. I know. I've seen the inside of a Raptor. But yeah, you pair it. It gets that 25% boost to its accuracy, and it will shred. Well, it will stand toe to toe with raiders, no problem. It annihilates heavy raiders, and gods take care of you, because let's face it, if you're in a capital ship, you're dead.
Deader.
You're just dead. You can try and run, Taipan will catch you when you're tired.
So the Daybreak update that comes out with Armistice.
Yes.
Right, the free update that comes out with Armistice.
Yes.
We get photo mode, and I have been photo moding myself to death. I really have. I've got some classic shots there. Absolutely.
I want to, but I know if I do, I will literally be sat there for hours, and I have like a job, and I need to sleep at night. And I've still got to play Battlestar Galactica because I'm loving it. But I guess that's the thing that I want to like just praise Blacklabs for so much. They've kept this game fresh.
Yeah.
I mean, I did a full playthrough from beginning to end, recorded it for the channel, all the way through to the end of Ghost Fleet. And it was straight after my Ghost Fleet run. And I did the whole thing with the exception in the Anabasis, because I really didn't want to subject myself to the mental torture of that scale. And by the end of it, I was literally burnt out on Battlestar Galactica. To the point, whenever I'm burned out on a game, that's it. I walk away from it for months, if not years, before I go back. And the second they announced Armistice was coming out, my juices started flowing again. It was like, I've got to play it.
Time to jump back in that Viper.
I've got to play it. I've got to get back in there. So I started doing, just a base game, doing some side missions, getting my timing back in. And, it's a travesty. It's taken this long for them to be put forward for an award.
Australian Game Developers Award, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It came out on Twitter, and I immediately responded, you lot deserve it.
Yeah.
Because they should have had something before now for what they've managed to do with such a small development team. I think it's only 10 people.
Yeah.
And they've created 3 years of memories for me.
Pretty good content. Well, pretty good. Bloody brilliant content, to be fair.
Yeah.
I mean, and we've been talking. There are other development houses that are doing similar.
Yep.
Sometimes there's a cost involved as well. I mean, there's Frontier and Elite, and there's the new Odyssey that's coming out early next year, so they say.
So they say.
I'm
going to say spring.
Yeah.
At the earliest.
Well, that's pretty astounding, because people have been playing it for like 5-6 years, like what I have. Pretty much done everything.
Yeah.
But with Deadlock, what I like is that whatever mission you can do, yes, the outcome will be the same.
Yes.
But how you get there is different every single time.
Yeah, even when the Cylons drop in the same fleet as they did last time, they do something different.
Yeah.
Like they might pair their nemesis together and both target the same ship with their kind of hacking rays. And then that ship is practically out of the fight for if they aren't dealt with immediately, which means you're immediately trying to change your tactics to deal with that as quickly as possible, but they're just slightly out of range. So do you bring in your Vipers to help take them out, because they can do that pretty quickly with a nemesis, but you also got the Raiders to deal with, and that's all from just putting those 2 ships together. Whereas next time
different every time you play it.
They might have them on the flanks, in which case, do you deal with one? Or do you go down the middle? what do you do?
Yeah. It's different every time you play it, but with the same outcome. If that
Yeah,
makes sense.
lots of dead Cylons.
Yeah. Or you're left with 2 transports flying away from 40 Cylons, and thinking, where did it all go wrong? I was all right up to jump 7. Yeah. So I quite enjoy that, and also, like I say, going back to photo mode. Photo mode is great. It does make you stop. Instead of just putting the battle cam footage on, it makes you stop and explore how nice the game is, how graphically, astounding the game is. And some of the pictures I've done some of the thumbnails with this time, nice, colorful, because, YouTube is generally a black thumbnail, and it's nice to have a different colored thumbnail.
I can't deny.
And these fleet caps as well, right? The fleet caps, I think, for people who can't play Anabasis like me, or quite like the idea of, yeah, exactly, I can't play it. There it is. I can't play it, everyone. Mock me.
Please mock him in the comment section.
Mock me in the comments, but keep it sensible. We're all friends. And we got thick skins anyway. But when you think about it, the consoles to have that sort of experience as well, and then to completely keep on doing bug fixes all the way through the development of the 3 years of these 2 seasons, which we've been told is the end of the Deadlock story arc.
Yes, you told me that, and that just made me go, ooh, what do you mean, the Deadlock story arc?
Exactly. What comes next?
Ooh.
I don't know.
I'm all warm and fuzzy inside again.
It might be nothing. It might just be 2 fellas who've just got together and said, well, that's what he said.
Yeah.
That's what the guy said. Mm-hmm. So, and we're reading into it. That's what it could be. But I specifically asked him, and I said, look, people are going to want to know, is this the end? Is this the end of it? And the response was, this is the end of the Deadlock story arc.
If there is more Battlestar Galactica to come out of Blacklabs, I'm going to play it.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, definitely.
I mean, they've taken some very simple mechanics, some obvious passion for the franchise, and some sheer unbelievable professionalism to develop a game which I think has found a place on YouTube that not many games do. I mean, you've got your Fortnites, you've got your Apex Legends and things like that, and I've played Elite Dangerous and things like that, but every time I put Battlestar Galactica or Deadlock on my channel, people want to see it and they want to know what else is there. Is there something else coming? And of course, as a creator, we're literally bound. We can't say much about things before they're actually released by the companies and things like that. So, when I got my code and I first looked at the Mercury, because I thought, I've got to see what it can do. What's it got? And I just saw the point cost. And I was like, no one is going to believe me if I say that.
Exactly.
I can't say that. So I just literally went, you guys are not going to believe. I've got so much stuff I want to tell you, and I can't because embargo.
Yeah. And it's quite interesting you should say that, because we had it about a week ago.
Yeah.
And I played the hell out of it on the weekend. I really did. And yes, as you know, I've gone through this campaign 3 times now. What for different problems. I like the campaign.
It's good.
I think the campaign, without spoiling it for people, and I'm not going to spoil it for anyone.
No, we can't do
certain
that.
aspects of that campaign, and we were speaking last night about this, I think are going to a set up for going in different directions if there is indeed a season 3 with a different story arc.
Oh, there's definitely things in there that have been kind of put out there as, we could go with this if we wanted to. We could do this if we wanted to. But they've also done a good job of tying up most, if not all, of the loose ends.
Yeah.
Like I say, like you said, don't want to give anything away because we want people to go out there and enjoy what we have enjoyed. because it's just such a good end to
Yeah,
to the arc.
A 3-year story arc.
Yeah. I know it sounds like we're literally...
in it I'll put in there without spoiling anything, but in Mission 3, everything seems to be ticking along as normal. Cylons turn up, you attack the Cylons. That's not a spoiler to anybody.
Oh, no, that's a mission.
It's a mission. And then a calamity happens. Right at the very end.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I was just trying to remember which mission that was.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Wait a minute, something bad happens?
I thought, hang on.
That's a deadlock mission.
Yeah. Why has this happened?
Yeah. They explain it.
That's something else, right? That could typically give fuel for a 3rd season.
Absolutely, yes.
And I think the cumulative mission of this as well, right at the end, I think people are going to go, oh, look at that. That's happening.
Yeah.
And I think it ties it all in nicely, which is the story of the first Cylon War, which is what it is. Right? I think that's great. Absolutely brilliant how they've done it. I think, well, I'll be pretty much sick of the campaign when I finish it for the 3rd time. Stop laughing.
Can't help it.
I know what happens in each mission off by heart because, oh my god.
I know why he's had to do it 3 times, so that's the only reason I'm laughing.
It's embarrassing to say.
Oh, well, look, I've been there. I've been there. I have done what you are talking about.
The problem I've got is I've got everything plugged into this. I don't think I cannot get a whack thin mint in that case. Right, and I think it's starting to take its toll on it, given it's on 14, 15 hours a day every day, But enough of my technological problems. Back to
my rig's awesome.
There's a puff of smoke behind you. I'm as green as the green screen. So it's all coming to an end. But I think people are going to, with these added fleet caps, with these newer ships, and with the Mercury and the Valkyrie, you can stock them up with Type 7 Vipers.
Yes.
You can put them into the older ships, which I thought...
No, you can't. I couldn't when I did my analysis run.
No, you can't.
No.
The option is not there when you go in there.
No.
So
which kind of makes sense. I mean, if you think about it, they're Type 7s.
Yeah.
And the only reason they could, when they were doing it like in the Galactica show, was basically the Galactica was running with Type 3s, Type 2s?
Type 2s.
And they just took them from one of the other star landing pod because it was being used as a
museum.
Yep. So they just wheeled them across to the side that could actually be used. And there was only really one. I think it was Lee's.
Mm.
So I'm assuming they would have kind of jerry-rigged it so he could use that. And then once they got, say, the Pegasus's Vipers. But yeah, it kind of makes sense because it gives you another reason to use the Mercury.
Exactly.
And the Valkyrie.
And that's why I think they've done it.
It's they've got this extra kick, and it is an awful lot of points you have to spend to use them.
Yeah, but they are amazing. In a swarm, gone.
They don't seem like it when you kind of look at what damage they can do, what speed they've got, or evasion or anything like that. But it's one other stat which just goes, yep, they can definitely hang with pretty much anything that's just put in front of them.
So how have you found? How have you found the Mercury then?
The way I explain it to Red Moogle, if you're not sure, that's my missus. She likes Final Fantasy. She's red. There you go. The Jupiter is a defensive instrument. It's there to protect ships that can't defend themselves, so they can last longer in the fight. So things like the Adamant and the Berserk, they hide within its flat cloud or use their speed to evade, get into the flat cloud, catch their breath, and then dive back out and annihilate something far away. Whereas the Mercury was always designed to be offensive.
It's that charge into battle, nose first.
All those freaking guns.
Of armor,
yeah.
180.
And then if you put a Celestia with it...
I've got a bit of paper here.
Yeah.
Right, so a Valkyrie has got 80.
Yep.
A Minerva has got 60.
Mm-hmm.
A Jupiter 2 has got 140.
Yep.
A Jupiter 1 has got 120.
Yep.
Mercury, 180.
Assuming you don't then boost that with a Celestra.
Yes.
Which gives you an extra 50 now.
Exactly, which is really good.
Hence why a Minerva can now be a functioning, decent Battlestar, because you can just go, you've only got 60 on your right side armor. Hang on, we'll just put an extra 50 on there. Slap. Now you got 110.
Yeah.
But a Mercury is there to do one thing, and that's basically punch people in the face really, really hard with all those guns.
I mean, it's not going to win any speed contests.
No.
It's not. The Valkyrie, however.
Oh, that can go as fast as an Adamant, that can.
Yeah, that's a nippy little ship. More heavily armoured. You know, it's got a fighter squadron, or whatever you want to put in it, and a missile tube, and it's got flak. Made of tissue paper on the bottom.
Yes, but if you pair it with an Adamant, you put the Adamant underneath, they can literally fly so close together, there's practically no space between them. Believe me, I had people on my live stream going, they're very close. Could you separate them a bit, please? No! I don't want to! The Valkyrie has, like, it's basically its little puppy.
Yeah.
If you tickle its belly, it rolls over and dies. Tickle, tickle.
But it's quick.
It's quick as hell. So if you match that with an Adamant, and the Adamant's got that extra thick armor that you can get for that, those two together, because you've got the Valkyrie with the flat cloud, and then suddenly the Adamant becomes this really, really relevant ship again. They both have a fighter bay, they both have a missile launcher, and the Valkyrie's got a flat cloud.
There you have it.
Oh, look.
So we've been wittering on for the best part of 48 minutes now about most colonial ships. And we've kind of neglected to talk about the Cylons.
Yes, the Cylons gone.
Yeah, gone. So, all this will happen before. Yeah. See what I did there?
Yeah, anyway, I saw you did that.
When you think about the new Cylon ships, and you've got the Guardian base star, we'll start with that one. Because that, I think, has got a fantastic feature on it, which is augury mode.
See, I haven't looked at the Cylon ships with any great depth.
Well, what your augury mode does, right, it's a one-shot wonder per Guardian base star. And what you do is, right at the beginning, you're quite a distance away from your opponent. Go to your Guardian base star, select your augury mode, select it, select the ship that is shrouded in mystery, right? It'll identify it, and you can fire and get a weapons lock on straight away.
Damn.
Yes. That's what it does. Plus it's got turrets, plus it's got missiles, plus it's got 3 squadrons.
Oh, not 3 squadrons again.
3 squadrons. The Cylon modern base star, however, has got 4 squadrons, but no turrets. And it can just continuously fire missiles. It's just... But it's not very heavily armoured. And then someone on the channel turned around and said, yes, but that's because it was made for one purpose only, destroying the colonies. It was never meant to be a battleship.
No, it wasn't. That was the whole point of it. It was meant to fire nukes onto the colonies. That was it.
Fire the missiles at the planets, destroy the colonies. It was never banking on the fact that anyone would not have had their software upgrade.
Yeah.
And they didn't need all that armor. But The Guardian base star, just popping back to that, is a bit more of a heavy hitter. And that's the ship you typically see. I think it was at the end of one of the web shorts they did.
Yes.
Adama is protecting the Columbia.
Yeah.
And the Columbia gets destroyed. He gets caught in a flat cloud or clipped by another Cylon, falls to the planet. And you get a view of this base star, prototype base star, taking off. Well, that's the base star, you see.
Ah.
Indeed. But that augury mode, I thought, what's all this about? Fred? Oh, it does that, does it? And it did. And it was very good. But I've been quite impressed. They're very elegant models, how they move around. They're not fast. They're not going to win any speed contests either. But there's one problem doing a skirmish, Cylon against Cylon. If you lose your squadrons and you've lost all your missiles. Because those modern base stars, they'll regenerate their hull if their armory is online. So you could be stuck in a battle of fire and ice, just butting up against them. If you can catch it. Right?
Yeah.
That is the one problem. If one of you loses, or if you both lose all your squadrons,
yeah,
and you just left base stars, you're going to fire your missiles at these base stars. Once you depleted those missiles, what you do then?
Fire your guns?
It hasn't got any.
Oh, okay. Ram!
If you can catch it.
That's a good point.
So if he's going this way, and you're going that way, yeah, you can adjust your system to go a little bit faster.
But so will they.
That's one of the downsides I've seen with this. It could be really boring.
Oh God!
I did a skirmish on Twitch of it. I thought no one's going to watch this. People did. I thought,
okay,
fair enough. Okay, it's the strange things I find. But there you go. So that was it. So
okay,
much more about Armistice.
One question.
Yes.
To finish it off, so we're not actually going to go over an hour.
Yeah. Yes, 8 minutes to go.
One question. Favorite ship in the whole Deadlock series? It doesn't have to be like a particular ship, it's a type of ship. So if you've got a particular ship that you like to use, or it's just the one you always go to, no matter what, you always have one of those in your fleet, what would it be?
It's a Taurian ship.
Okay.
And it's got loads of guns on it.
Would it be the Minotaur?
It is.
I can understand that. I didn't like the Minotaur to begin with. I did a series called Fleet Dynamics a little while back where I just asked people to send me the fleets they like to use or the fleets that they would like to see tested and things like that. And one of them was called Steel Rain Fleet. It had absolutely no Vipers, no strike craft of any kind. And it was made up of 3 Heracles, 3 Minotaurs, and 1 Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
The Ranger had... it had the Celestia in there as well, because it was a sport ship. The Ranger had debris mines for the anti-radar thing. And the rest was just guns. So many guns. It annihilated the entire base star fleet. Just completely obliterated them. It was literally base star, full armor, full health, looking good, firing his missiles at us. Where's my armor gone? A turn later. Where's my health gone? A turn after that. It was just gone. It was hilarious and beautiful and everything. But my favourite ship? Atlas.
Yeah, back at you. What is it?
Atlas.
Atlas.
I love the Atlas. It's a flying block of metal. Oh, with Taipans, Vipers, and Assault Raptors on board.
You gotta stack it out right, and it's not all like we were saying about Vipers.
No.
Is it?
No. When they started and it was the Viper Mark 1, you did anything to get to that mission where you got the Viper Mark 2s. Where you unlocked the Viper Mark 2s. And then you immediately picked them up because they are just so much better than the Viper Mark 1s. The thing was, we didn't upgrade the Viper Mark 2s to the Mark 3s. So when the Taipans came along, and you finally realize that the assault raptors with taipans are just so powerful, I think you go to the vipers are good, but taipans can hold their own in a dogfight, and they annihilate heavy ships. Why am I using the vipers again?
Exactly. And it's because you are indoctrinated that with a Battlestar goes a Viper.
Yes.
We didn't even have Raptors. There were Starbirds in the original one, the 1977 one.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Remember them?
Yeah. Oh, wow, that's going back. All the memories.
Tell you what. You'll sleep well tonight.
Oh, I will totally sleep well tonight. Wow.
So as you said, we are going on for about 56 minutes now. We've been ripping on about Battlestar Galactica Deadlock's 3 years. And
we promised it was only going to be like 15 minutes, and then we were going to do some gameplay.
Minutes, and then we'll do some gameplay, and then we come back and no. But this is how rich the entire universe is, and I think Blacklab, in partnership with Slytherin, have got in there, and they've got an absolutely amazing game. It might not be everyone's cup of tea. I didn't think it was going to be mine 3 years ago, but I vet my words. I think it's brilliant. I really do. I want to thank them for the opportunity of the press release and playing it before.
Yeah, I'd like to thank them. Well, Slytherin, the contact we both have with Slytherin, and Blacklabs for getting me every DLC early. Every press release, so that I could bring it to my viewers as early as I did.
Yeah.
My top 6 most watched videos on my channel are Battlestar Galactica Deadlock videos.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it might be the top 8, but I have my most popular.
A following out there. Definitely following. There's definitely a need, and I think there's certainly an appetite for more Battlestar Galactica.
Whether it's Deadlock or
whatever.
Yeah, Blacklabs, if you've got ideas, you've got the people out here that will support you all the way, because you've done such a good job with this.
And there's a new bunch of consoles coming out this Christmas.
Yes, so they need a Battlestar Galactica. I don't think you understand just how important Battlestar Galactica is to us. Give us more.
Yes.
Stop smiling. Give us more.
Yeah, so with that, I'm going to sign off now. And play some more Battlestar Galactica. I think we're going to play some more Battlestar Galactica later on, aren't we?
I think so.
I think we are. Yeah, we'll put a stream up for that. So look out on our channels for that. Ricardo's Gaming and Rival Zone Gaming as well. So I've been Ricardo, and he hasn't been. And we'll speak to you all soon. So leave us some nice comments. See what you think of the new DLC as well. Watch out for more videos. See you soon.
Bye-bye.